All right, time for another question.
Alrighty.
What made you get into acting?
Oh, jeez. That's a long story. No, not really though. Not really a long story.
Were you young?
I've asked myself that same question. What made me get into acting? You know.
Oh my God, I know exactly, but I want to hear
Really?
yours. Oh, totally.
Well, I mean, it started out in high school, and I was, I was kind of a shy kid. I wasn't very confident at the time, and I took a speech and drama class, and I felt pretty good about what I was doing in there, and I had an encouraging teacher, and then started doing some school plays, and then my English/drama teacher made me aware of a theater scholarship to Indiana University at South Bend.
Yeah.
So that paid for most of my school for like the first few years I was there. So I was in the theater program there. And this was the South Bend campus of IU, small department. So I was guaranteed lots of stage time. Like,
Sweet.
all the time, yeah. So of course that also meant there were times when, when I was in my early 20s, I played Polonius in Hamlet. Which is, playing like an old guy.
Yeah.
I got a lot of the old guy parts in college for some reason.
So did Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, really?
I just learned. So you're in good company.
Oh, good. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just been kind of an on and off, on again thing for many years.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing it, and I'll do it again if somebody wants me to.
Yeah.
If nobody ever wants me to do it again, then I guess, I'll have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and it's just kind of a one day at a time.
Because that's the thing about acting. It's like you can't do it unless somebody
Right.
hires you. So
Right,
like,
unless
it's not
somebody
like you can
says,
do
"Hey."
this job without. Yeah,
Right.
it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not, getting the work is certainly not easy, as obviously.
No,
and I'm
it's
not
not.
complaining about that. I'm not whining, but it's just a simple fact is that
It takes a lot of time.
it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And it's not like being a musician or, somebody with a more tangible sort of skill.
Right.
It's very subjective. It's all about, the director, casting director thinks you fit
Yeah.
this character,
Yeah, and
or
your
maybe
looks.
you don't.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah. But what about you? How did you get into, what did you get
Well, I was from a family of 6 kids. So that's just a side thing. So I was in church, and I was in the choir, and I was given a solo. And I remember sitting in the little upstairs box, and I'm singing, and it felt really good. And then afterwards, I was taken out to lunch. And everybody was like, "Oh, you did so good. You sounded so good." Whatever. And I remember, and again, I'm from a family of 6 where you don't get a lot of attention, personal attention. I remember looking at everybody, and the whole thing was about me. And I remember thinking, I get a lot of attention when I do this.
Okay.
So it felt good,
Yeah.
because otherwise you were kind of lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
So then I went to Chicago Park District and got in those shows and community theater, and I was pretty much sold and
Yeah.
studied and
Yeah. Okay.
at a really young
Yeah.
age. So I
Yeah.
started, that was when I was 9
Yeah.
and I was sold.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel more like me when I'm doing a role
Okay.
than out in real life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It
Yeah.
just feels so right. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you another question. Best meal you've had recently?
Best meal I've had recently.
Gosh. Come on, it's Chicago.
I know.
There's food everywhere.
Yeah, my wife is an excellent cook. But when was the last time we went out to eat? We don't go out to eat a whole lot.
Yeah.
There was a Thai place. Oh, yeah, okay. So this past weekend we ordered Thai food from this place on, God, what's it called? It's right by the Montrose Brown Line L stop. It's a little tiny place.
Okay.
And I can't remember the name of the
I
place.
can't see it.
But I had this really excellent kung pao chicken there. I think
Oh, I
is what
love
it was.
kung pao
I
chicken.
think that's what it was.
Peanuts.
I may not be calling it the right thing.
Yeah, I love
it's,
that.
It's a Thai equivalent of that.
Yeah.
So it was excellent. So if you ever get to go, if you want Thai food, so you can't miss it. I mean, you'll know what I'm talking about when you go there. It's right by the Montrose Brown Line.
Okay.
On stop.
And because there's all
It's a
kinds of
tiny
new
place.
places there. Yeah.
Yeah. There's several new places
All right,
there.
good to know.
Yeah, it's a really tiny place, but so I got to carry out. But yeah, excellent food.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give that a try.
Yeah. What kind of roles do you prefer?
Oh. I love, gosh, that's a great question. I mean, I love roles where the woman is fierce. And while there may be fears or insecurities or vulnerabilities, I like a role when a woman pulls it together and overcomes. And so there's challenges and adversity and fierceness. And I'm really big on underdogs and people who overcome obstacles. And so I like to play those types of women as opposed to like if I'm reading a play and on the very first page it says for my demographic, she's in bed and she's dying. I'm sort of like, thanks
Right.
so much.
Yeah.
Because I feel, being in my older demographic now, that I have so much more to offer than when I, just for me, was younger and,
Oh, sure.
and was more trepidatious and insecure and afraid.
And didn't know nearly as
and
much as you
didn't
do now.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I feel like now I'm stronger. I'm I'm physically stronger. I'm prepared. I'm confident, and I get disappointed that there aren't more roles for this demographic that reflect that. So I wish there were more writers who acknowledged,
Yeah.
and like one of the roles I loved doing that I mentioned earlier was Queen Eleanor in The Lion in Winter. I mean, because she's like on top of the whole thing. She's masterminding everything. She's pulling all the strings. That was really fun.
Yeah.
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 How about you?
Oh, anything where, I mean, I just, anything that, I would love it if people, would cast me in something that I wouldn't ordinarily do. It's something
Yeah.
unusual, something out of, I don't know. I get to do a wider range of stuff, so I can't really complain about my choices, but,
Like, what would be a role outside of your normal?
and I wish I had the opportunity to do more comedy, which is, I can't believe that I'm not doing more of that
Yeah.
than I have been. I get sucked into these dramas all the time, which is fine, but well, the last show I did I had a kind of a comedic role, but yeah, I wish I could do more comedy. As a type of role, I don't know. It would be, I guess it would be nice. I've never played a father.
You played
Role?
father in this.
In the film, yeah, but that's okay. So that I don't get to. That's the only time I've ever done a father role.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
So I mean, like in theater, I would like to do more of that.
Right, like actually
Yeah.
interact with your child on stage.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm the right age now,
yeah,
so, and I am one. So,
yeah.
but I never get those roles. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny.
I find that's really helpful. I do a lot with daughters,
Yeah.
and I find it's really helpful that I'm a mom.
Do you
It
have a
com-
daughter?
I have a son.
You have a son. Okay.
Yeah, but just the whole mom thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.